Hello, welcome. This is Ellie. Today I wanted to share my 2025 planners and journals as of August 2025. I've changed it up quite a bit compared to last year, and it's been working much better. I started using all these planners in July, so it was just last month that it doesn't even feel like last month. It was just last month where I changed up my planning routine and just trying to make best use of my planner. So let's get started. I have 6 so far, and it may seem like it's a lot, but they each have their own purpose. Okay, so let's get started. This is the Happy Planner, customized planner. I originally got it with the checklist. I stopped using the checklist mid-year, and I got the 6-month extension pack for the dashboard and the vertical. So I have this planner split, and that works better than having two separate planners for the same, different purposes. I filed away the other previous ones. What I changed is that I do the weekly goal setting on this side, put a quote, I'll do the weekly check-in, and here I don't have my tasks. Here I have how the day went, how I felt. It could be gratitude, it could be frustrations, it could be whatever it is that I feel. I haven't written down anything these last 3 days, but today, whenever I journal, I'll put something briefly if I don't. So here I am implementing the 12-week year, and I'm working on improving my health and wellness, also my personal growth, like learning, and I need to be consistent with YouTube. I've been wanting to. Also my finances, but I don't have anything related to my finances here because I already have my tracker and my budget sheet, and that just works out better. Instead of crossing off multiple things, this works out for these 3 goals, and then I do my check-in at the end of the week, which would be today, Sunday night. And here is just like my journaling area. Sometimes I'll put like a quote here. I didn't this week, but that's fine. And I've been loving this instead of having the tasks. Right here on this side is where I am tracking out. Now what I'm doing, I'm tracking out my eating out in Starbucks because I'm working on reducing that to where I'm eating more at home, making my coffees at home. So that's more so from a health standpoint, and also from a budgeting perspective, I could use that money elsewhere. So that's more so to allocate it to things that will be more long lasting. And as you can see right here, I haven't been putting all the details. I'll fill it in because I use the Lose It app to track. So I make notes. If something wasn't good, I'll make notes, or what could have been done better. When I eat out, the snacks that I have, and I'll just make notes for myself, like how many times I ate out, how much Starbucks I've had. That's really the aim, to reduce it. So that's really the purpose of that. And I really like the vertical because it has plenty of space. The meal planner, it didn't have as much space. It was like a smaller writing part. So the vertical absolutely works. Been loving that. And then my to-do planner. This one is the weekly planner, Zakoto. Love the planners that they have. And what I like is that this is how I do it. Like, list out my tasks throughout the week. I don't have as much as the weekend. The weekend, that's where I do the bulk of my stuff. And then these are just daily reminders. Here is like, I could do this throughout the week. Mostly it's gonna happen on the weekend. If I don't get to it, then what I do, I just like roll it over. I'll roll it over to next week and then complete it the following week. So I'm not putting that much pressure, and that keeps it separate from goals. These are just tasks, errands, to-dos, chores, whatever that needs to be separated, and that works much better for me. So this is the task to do planner. And then I have my reading planner. This one is a Zakodo academic planner. And what I've been doing, I listen to audiobooks mostly. I read sometimes, but for the most part, this is last week. There's days where I don't, but for the most part, I put my time. How long did I listen to the book? And I'm looking at the time that the audiobook has. So if I read chapter 1 and it took 30 minutes, then 30 minutes. Last week was a great week. 10 hours and 26 minutes of listening time. So this is like commute, or sometimes at work whenever I'm filing paperwork and doing tasks that don't require like an email, filing and then gathering and organizing paperwork. That's when I do that. And then on the weekends I'll watch courses. The evenings whenever I'm cooking or doing chores, that's whenever I it adds up. You could do this while doing a multitude of things. My favorite app is Everend, which used to be Scribed. They separated it, but that's my favorite one. I've used Audible, but mostly like I stick to Everend. The library, I tried to, but they have a long wait time. So yeah, I find a great selection of books. Sometimes you can find stuff in YouTube, and this is just specifically designated for reading, listening to books and courses that I listen to. So that's this one. And then I have the fitness journal. This one is from Zakodo. Again, I love their planners and journals that they have. And here it's more so to track like my cardio, make notes. I'm not gonna fill in this stuff, but it's to track the progress that I am making. So walking, body weight progressions, things like that. So that's this planner. This is my weekend planner. I'm trying to make better use of my time and like see where I spend my time and what I did and what can be improved, because there's room for improvement, that I could dedicate time towards things that are important to me. So this is more so tracking on the weekends or days off and figuring out what improvements I can make on my time use and my time management. So this one is for that purpose, to track how long do I take to do chores, how much am I relaxing, and then meal prepping, personal care, errands. So yeah, so like last weekend I really did a good tracking. That was actually the first weekend I did that, where I tracked it very well. So that's me just making notes, like what can I do to improve. This is my weekend planner. And then lastly, I have the planner I'll be using for YouTube. And in the month of July, I tracked, okay, how many days did I have off of work and to take full advantage. That's the purpose of this. But I didn't make a video, right? But it's like, how many weekend days did I have? How many PTOs and how many holidays? So that's so I could make better use of my time. And these days that are off, dedicate time towards YouTube, even if it's a few hours. And I'll be using, and then we have August days off here to just brainstorm ideas, and then I'll figure out what I'll use this for. But this is going to be dedicated to YouTube, video planning, posting, and looking more so at the monthly. And again, this one is the Zakodo. Love them. So that's it. Those are all my planners. They all work out. This is mostly going to be used, I'd say, for monthly and weekends. Whenever I do work out. This one's a daily tracking, and this one's daily, and this one is weekly, daily, and then monthly. So those are it. Hope you liked, and until next time, bye.